Are we having a great day today? Sun is shining, had a good lunch, awesome speakers, and we're here at Turtle Creek Women TEDx. It's great to be here. Again, my name is Tiffany Sunday, and I am an entrepreneur and author. I'm also dyslexic. I say that without shame. I say that without feeling bad, because I have learned through the years that I am proud and I am honored to be dyslexic and to be in an amazing community with people like Einstein, Thomas Edison, Steve Jobs, Steven Spielberg, and many others. But it wasn't always that way. When I was a kid, it was different. But let me tell you a story. I'm also the parent of a teenage son. How many have teenagers at home? Are they wearing their earbuds all the time? I told my son, you are connected to the board. He's got his earbuds in. And so I'm very creative in the mornings. I wake up and I'm like, yes, I have all these ideas. They're everywhere. They're flowing. If you've had 4 cups of coffee, you really have ideas in the morning. And my son's going, not now, Mom. This is not real. I'm not now moment. So a couple of weeks ago, we were sitting in the car at his school. We were like sitting in traffic. And I'm like waiting for the light. And he's over there trying to look cool as some of his peers walk across. And I'm looking across at his school. And I'm thinking, it's like an epiphany. It's like a light bulb. It's like the lights here. It's like, boing! It's like it suddenly came so clear. I turned to him while he's in his moment, and I said, do you get this? The best training, the feet to fire, the best thing that a dyslexic student, the founding foundation for entrepreneurship is in that public school system. Right there, it's that school. He looks at me and goes, we're not taking entrepreneurship. I said, it's not about that. And I said, let me tell you why I think that's the reason. And he's like, not now. Because when I was in 4th grade, I could not spell. Not even a simple word cat, because I phonetically hear no sounds. Still do not hear it today. So please do not ask me to spell the word cat. So as I'm sitting there in class in 3rd and 4th grade, my brain's going, something's up here. These kids are doing things, we're not. The kids are reading and spelling. But you know what? Something's not right. My brain goes, Houston, we have a problem. I know. I didn't need a teacher to tell me something was profoundly different with my brain. My brain knew. And I said, okay, we're cool. Because dyslexic brains are wired like an entrepreneur. They're wired for entrepreneurship. They're wired like a startup. And it says, okay, fine. We'll pivot. Let's start pivoting. Let's start adapting. Let's think outside the box. I didn't even see the box. The box, I don't know where the box went because we weren't even in the box. I said, okay, we're going to figure this out. So I started doing creative workaround solutions to figure out how to read. And then my brain goes, you know that spelling thing? While I was sitting in a resource room, they taught me knitting while the boys were learning phonetics because I couldn't do phonetics. So you know what my brain did? It said, fine, we'll memorize everything. That way, we'll have it all. Every word that I ever write down, spell, or type is memorized in a unique system that I came up with. Memorized. So my brain goes, let's just start grabbing everything. And then if we need it later, we have it. But no one told me that these workarounds, me pivoting, adjusting, feet to fire, trying to figure out every day how to climb Mount Everest would be absolutely invaluable, priceless, and investors would pay for that skill when I was an adult watching my startups. I look back and go, whoa, this is really cool. We need to be telling students this. We need to be sharing this information because I got that failed fast model down. I should have written that lean startup book because I was failing so fast in school. When I made 100, I told the teacher, did you grade the test right? But you get that, just like you know your brain is wired for entrepreneurship and innovation. You can just feel it in your body. But since I was a kid, I had big dreams, really big dreams. I wasn't going to do a small dream. Let's do a big dream. And I'd tell my parents, I want to be a journalist. I want to be an international journalist. And they're like, can't do that. You have dyslexia. Can't do that. Why? Then I thought of something else. I want to be an entrepreneur. I can do that. I know. My brain's got this. Oh, no, can't do that either. Well, maybe I can do this. No, you can't do that. It's like I heard so many can't do's, can't do's, can't do's. So by the time I become an entrepreneur and people say, oh, that's not going to work, I'm like, yeah, I've been hearing that a while. So it just kind of fades away. In fact, I heard someone tell me this week, you can't do that. I'm like, really? I'm doing it now. The problem is we are camped out over here in the cannot do's. We've already heard from speakers earlier today talking about getting past the can't do's. But in the dyslexia arena, we're still over here on the weaknesses and the can't do's. Trust me, I know my weaknesses. I know them well, and as an adult, I outsource them. It's a benefit of being an adult. So we need to move the momentum over to the can-dos, to the opportunities. And there are 3 groups. Actually, it's a husband and wife team and 2 individuals that have started this movement. The first is a husband and wife team. They're out on the West Coast. They're doctors. They're very well known in this arena, or dyslexia. They're medical doctors, done some amazing work. Their names are Dr. Eden. Hope I said that right, phonetically. And so they've been working with kids and students for a long time on dyslexia and helping them become better readers. They're doing some amazing work. Well, back in 2012, a little boy came up to him and said, I can imagine the little boy come up to me and said, Dr. Edens, you tell me every day what I can't do. And I can see he puts his little hands on his hips. He says, you tell me what I can't do. And then he turns to him, he says, can you tell me what I can do? He knew in here that he could do something. Dyslexics know from the moment we can crawl that we're wired differently. But that's not bad. It is the gift of innovation and entrepreneurship. He was very persistent. And he says, well, are you? And they did. They created the Dyslexia Advantage. And the Dyslexia Advantage showcases the brilliance of dyslexia, the gift of dyslexia, and they bring together the positive stories. So they have started that momentum. They have handed the baton off to us to move it over on the can-dos. And so they now promote it. They even wrote a book. And it showcased all the cool, entrepreneurial, innovative things that dyslexics can do. It wasn't about the weaknesses. It's about what we can do. Second person is Dr. Julie Logan. She's a professor at the Cass School of Business in London. And she said, coming from a family of entrepreneurs, but they're also dyslexic. I wonder if there's this correlation here. And she started doing some research, and she says, funny thing is, there's only been one research report done on adult dyslexics. But there are bazillions, and, you're going to stack this tall for kids. And she goes, I'm going to do an in-depth research on business owners. So back in 2009, she surveyed business owners in the United States, but she didn't differentiate the dyslexia yet, and then in the UK. But what she found was amazing. From her research, 35% of the business owners that responded said they were dyslexic. That's the ones that said that they were. But not only did she find when they said that they were dyslexic, here's the cool part. From those dyslexic business owners, they accelerated their companies faster, had multiple companies, had faster, nimble teams, were very good at delegation, had excellent leadership skills, were good on their feet. Person that comes to mind that best represents this would be Richard Branson. You may have heard of him. He has a couple of companies. And it's amazing what she was finding in this research. The other person who has taken the baton to move us over to the can-dos is Mr. Thomas G. West. Like the Edens, he has dedicated his entire life to showcasing the brilliance and the gifts of dyslexia. And he too found that dyslexic entrepreneurs and inventors actually had a higher net worth, accelerated their companies, and were very, very successful at entrepreneurship. It's like we're hardwired for it. It's like I started my first company when I was 12, our first business, and now I have a teen son who's dyslexic, and he already has a business. It's like we're pulled to it. It's like that brain is wired for it. And he too asked, why are we so camped out over here on the weaknesses? It's like, we're over here. And he says, almost to the irritant of the education and to other groups, it's like, oh, we just want to be over here. And he says, well, we should be over here talking about the brilliance. What is great about dyslexia? And he even wonders in his book, he says, why are we not teaching entrepreneurship to dyslexic kids? It's kind of a no-brainer. If you have a high correlation there, why not show them what they can do instead of focusing on what they can't do? I thought, makes sense to me. So here's my challenge. Doesn't cost a lot of money. Doesn't require a government program. Don't need to pass anything through Congress. It all requires maybe just an hour or two of your time. I also ask that the schools keep an open mind as well. But entrepreneurs reach out and speak to the dyslexic students and say, the adversity that you're dealing with every day, the fact that you're coming back from failure every day, that you feel like a little ping pong ball, pop, 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 pop. This has value. It has not only a little bit of value, but enormous value, because startups have to have resiliency or they won't make it. You think of Steve Jobs in his garage. If he said, oh, this isn't going to work, we're done. We still would have been stuck with those flip phones. You think about that. Thomas Edison didn't say he had 1,000 failed starts. Can you imagine if he had stopped at 887? We would be speaking here with stick-up bulbs and a flashlight. He didn't give up. But we need to show the students, this is the possibilities. These are the opportunities. And this is what you can do. It doesn't take a lot. It just takes the entrepreneurs that are in this room reaching out to the school in your neighborhood, giving them a little bit of your time and going in and showing these students what is possible. The second thing is create entrepreneurship groups within the big entrepreneurship umbrella. Here in Dallas, it's like on every corner, just like next to Starbucks, there's an incubator, there's an accelerator, there's like something in Dallas. You have Dallas Entrepreneurship Center, they're everywhere. But when I went online and searched all over the world looking for a dyslexic or entrepreneurship group program, there was one. Dyslexics make up 10% of the population, and out of that group, 35% of us are business owners, and there's a meetup group in the UK. So my challenge is we should have a meetup group for dyslexic entrepreneurs in every city and every country. Because here's what I feel and know inside. I get goosebumps, or you can call it goose flesh if you're from the Northeast. I think of the possibilities because Einstein said it best. We are limited by our imagination. So I think about that student with dyslexia that will be the next inventor. If he is given the opportunity to pursue his dreams, his passion, and his goal, he could hold the answer to solve some major problems. Who knows what there could be. I also think about the adult dyslexic that may be an inventor, something that could solve or find a cure for one of the diseases. Again, I think about all the possibilities because it's unlimitless. As dyslexia, we are geared for this. So my goal and my challenge is instead of being over here in the weaknesses, that we take the baton from Dr. Julie Logan, from Mr. West, and the Dyslexic Advantage, and help promote and move the momentum over here to where we are focusing on the can-dos. Thank you.